Hello. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? Can you hear me? I'm sorry I'm late. I've been doing a lot of setting up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? How's my hair? You can hear me. Okay, thanks, Jen. Hi, everyone. Hello. So I'm sorry I'm late. I'm kind of like a hot mess right now. I don't know why, but like just trying to do anything today, like everywhere I go, I like knock things over, and then like I have to try to clean up, and I've just like strewn everything all over the house, and it's just been like a little bit crazy. And so then I decided that obviously the thing to do was to try a new eyeshadow color, like totally makeup. Why not? So I did my aqua eyeshadow, and I also I did a little hot roller set because I didn't curl my hair last night. So I was like, I want to do my little like Judy Garland thing, but I wanted like just a little wave. So I did like the quickest hot roller set ever. And yeah, that's all. That's all. Yeah, so I've got a little aqua eyeshadow. What do you guys think? You can be honest with me. I put on like a wash of like a shimmery sort of neutral, like pinky shell color, and then put the aqua on top of that. And then I was like, oh, well, that was a mistake because now that's just going to like kind of dilute the aqua. So then I had to kind of try to add more aqua on top. And then I was like, should I just shade some a little in here with like a darker color? Yeah, I don't know. And then I think maybe the thing to do would have just been to like just go aqua, like just use one color. And maybe if I had a second like shade of darker aqua, that would be ideal. But you like the aqua? Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm enjoying having a little something different. Preen break. So yeah, we kind of have an aqua theme going on today, guys. So the eyeshadow has to match. Well, thank you, everyone. So yeah, I'm kind of liking it. So this color is Sugar Pill Mochi. Mochi, I think it is. I ordered a bunch of their like loose eyeshadows. So yes, that's exciting. So I used one today. I think I was kind of inspired by our conversation yesterday. Actually, hold on, guys. Hold on. You know, one thing about yesterday was that I noticed, like, I like to go back and listen to the sound and everything afterwards and like read your comments. And I noticed that the sound was like a little there was like an echo, and I think it's because my laptop didn't have anything underneath it. So I'm back. All right. So I'm just put something under the laptop. So, hi everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. Let's just preen our hair for a second. So apparently it's Tuesday. I had a call at 11 this morning, and I'm in just this universe where, I mean, I know we all are. Like, time doesn't matter. The day doesn't matter. So I just missed the call, and then the person I was supposed to be talking to texted me at like 11:17. It was like, are we still doing this? And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was just this very sort of real, like sort of disconnect of like, I really have no idea what's going on anymore. So there's that. Wednesday if you're in Australia. Okay. All right. So it is it's Tuesday, everyone. It's Tuesday. So I know that yesterday we we didn't really have a theme. So we talked about Animal Crossing, which, by the way, just a follow-up, thank you to everyone who friended me on Pocket Camp. I have like a lot of friends now. A lot of you visited my camp. You watered my garden, which is really nice of you. So much appreciated. I've been doing a lot of work like crafting things, and I'm trying to set up a sewing room in Pocket Camp, but I had to buy these like fortune cookies. It's a whole thing, guys. I had to buy the fortune cookies, and I got 4 cutting tables and no sewing machine and no dress form. So I'm pretty upset about that. That was obviously a bit of a downer. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, yesterday was just a casual day. We talked about Drag Race. That was really fun. We talked a little bit about fabric. But yeah, 4 cutting tables. 4. Who does that? Who does that? Why did they do that to me? Anyway, so, but it's okay. It's okay. You want to do a sewing room in your New Horizons game? Okay, so I'll probably be getting New Horizons this week. Okay, we're not going to talk about this for too long, but it sounds like maybe we can exchange things in that game. Anyway, we'll see. Animal Crossing has taken over my life. Yeah, welcome. Join the club. It's a problem. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. Okay. If you do share your friend code, I shared my, on Horizons. Okay, on New Horizons. Yes, I will. Okay. Okay. So that's all to say that I thought today we could have more of a theme, but I was kind of struggling to come up with what that theme would be, because I feel like with my current setup, I can really just kind of like show you things. I still don't have my dual camera setup going, but I thought, why don't we talk about like the Stanwyck skirt and felt specifically? I know you all have expressed a lot of interest in the felt skirts. And because you all are here and you're my special live friends, I thought I would tell you that, as I mentioned yesterday, we have the YouTube premiere coming up on Friday, and the subject of that YouTube premiere is going to be sewing the Stanwyck skirt in felt. Okay, so I thought I would just talk a little bit about that now. And actually, the skirt I'm wearing now, I make this one on camera. So start to finish on YouTube. So I'm very curious to how this whole felt skirt situation was going to go. It's going to go great. Okay, so YouTube Friday, I'm going to set a premiere and you can watch me sew this skirt from start to finish. I feel like it's the best video I've ever done. I'm pretty excited about it. Goes great with the Rita blouse. So yeah, I'm really excited to show it to you. And I thought, because you guys are my special live feed friends, I thought I would give you some advanced tips and tricks about felt and answer your questions and all of that. So very excited. First thing I'm going to do is just model the skirt I'm wearing. So I know it looks really like turquoise on the screen, but it's actually like very aqua. It's more like the color of my eyeshadow. It's very aqua. So, okay, guys, here is the skirt. I know you can't see the whole thing here. Here's the skirt without a petticoat. I know that's another question that you have a lot is, what does it look like without a petticoat? What petticoat are you wearing? What does it look like with a bigger petticoat? So I thought I would just kind of do that today. You can see that this is it without a petticoat, and I love this silhouette, but this is a full circle. Okay, so this has gores, and sorry guys, it's a little wrinkled. Everything is crushed and smushed right now. So it has gores, and these pockets are really fun because they go all the way around. So they wrap around from the front princess seam to the back princess seam, and they go down to here. So this is a nice, huge pocket, and we drafted some ease in the top here so that it kind of stands away from the body, which is really nice. So yeah, huge pockets. This is what it looks like without the petticoat. Should we do a little petticoat try on? Do you want to see the difference? Oh, I'm just going over here. So I have my this chiffon. Oh, I feel like I'm a magician or something, or a bullfighter. I have this chiffon Hell Bunny petticoat. I'm just going to put this on. So this is kind of like a medium petticoat, right? So I'll come back and you can just see the difference. Like magic. Like a magic trick. Ta-da! So here it is with a sort of medium petticoat. I love the silhouette. You can just see you have just a bit more body, right? It just helps it stand out a little bit more, but felt really stands out on its own, okay? And then if you wanted to go even bigger, you could wear a net petticoat. So I think the ones that I'm wearing in the photos, that petticoat would be the Malcolm Mode's Melanie petticoat. It has more body to it. It's a net, so it's just a little more body. But yeah, it does have a good silhouette with or without, because felt has a lot of body to it, okay? It doesn't just, like the folds of it kind of stand out really nicely, and it just kind of keeps its shape really beautifully. That's kind of a nice thing about felt. So let's see, let me tell you a little bit more about the skirt design. I showed it with the jacket over here because I was kind of thinking back to where this skirt design came from. And the reason that I designed it this way was that I originally wanted this to be a match for the princess coat. And that's what this pattern is on top. And if you want to see me make this whole jacket start to finish, I have a YouTube video for that too. It's called like sewing a crop jacket or something like that. So what I wanted out of this skirt was for these lines. I wanted the princess seam lines. Come here. The princess seam lines to match up, and it's kind of crooked on the mannequin. But the idea was you have this curve on the princess seam on the jacket, and then I wanted to continue it on going for like circular lines together. So that's why I designed these pockets like that. I very vividly remember being in the studio and like sketching that because I wanted those lines. I wanted like circular shapes that kind of like extended. So that's why we have this pocket. And then you can't just have the pocket go to the side seam, right? That would be so small. So it goes all the way around. This is the side seam of the skirt. And you can see it goes all the way around to the back princess seam on the skirt. So that's why I kind of think of these as a little set together. But obviously, it's a great mix and match piece. You can see now I'm wearing it with the Rita blouse. And this is a really cute little outfit together. It also has different waistbands. This one is the curved waistband, so you can see it kind of goes up at center front. The waistband's all one piece, and then there's a lap zipper in the back. So I show you how to do all of that on the YouTube video that's coming out on Friday. So this waistband is just straight across right here. It doesn't curve up. And then there's a third waistband that has like a sweetheart shape right here. It's actually the same piece. There's just a different stitching line on it. So you kind of go like that. It's very sort of 40s, 50s kind of shape. All right, so let's see. So that's a little background on this version of the Stanwyck skirt. There are 81 different skirts you can make with the Stanwyck skirt. So there's pencil skirts, there are board skirts with pockets, without pockets, there are suspenders, there are bibs, there's like a little ruffle, shoulder ruffle kind of thing. Lots of options. Oh, and the pencil skirts have like 3 different styles and like pockets. Pockets are a huge theme in the Stanwyck skirt. So, but I wanted to start you out with making this version because it's the easiest. And I know a lot of people are looking for easy projects. So one of the things that we talked about early on was how to make this really simple for beginners, for people who don't have a lot of time, people who don't have a lot of experience sewing. The easiest way to make this skirt is to make it in felt, because you don't have to finish the edges. You see that this is the raw edge right here of that upper pocket. Felt isn't a woven material. It's technically a non-woven, okay? I have some samples here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see the texture of the felt? Probably not. Anyway, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. This is wool felt, and it's just fibers that are kind of mashed up together, and they don't have the grain lines that a woven fabric has, and it's different from a knit too. So it's felt is its own category, really, in a non-woven fabric. So it's really easy to work with because you don't have to hem it. You can leave the edges raw. And the thing I like about it is that when you think about sort of deconstructed raw edge garments, I guess I tend to think more like Eileen Fisher, like that sort of boho chic kind of thing. But this is a very 50s sort of more polished vintage look that is also unfinished. So that's kind of cool because we don't really think of 50s and vintage as being unfinished. So felt, you probably know, was used in poodle skirts. That's how it kind of became popular. And if you haven't listened to this episode of this podcast called Dressed about Julie Lynn Charlotte, it is amazing. She was the inventor of the poodle skirt. Her mother worked in a felt fabric factory. She didn't know how to sew. She wanted to make a skirt, so she got her mom to get her some felt. I think it was just acrylic craft felt. And she just kind of cut a skirt and then put appliques on it. And she invented the poodle skirt, which is one of the most iconic clothing items of the 50s. So that's why I was really inspired by felt. I especially love wool felt. Okay, so that's what this is. It is very expensive. All right, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's $60 a yard, but it's very wide. So you can get this whole skirt out of like 2.5 yards, but still $60 a yard. So there are other types of felt if you don't want to spend that kind of money. Acrylic felt is the kind that you can get at Joann's or Michael's, any craft store. Again, that stuff is great. Most of them, I think, are 72 inches wide. So you can really get a lot of bang for your buck. Without pockets, you can make this skirt with 2 yards, but why would you want to make it without the pockets? So I wanted to talk a little bit more about wool felt and colors. I have to show you this ring I brought with me. So when we left the studio, the last day we worked in the studio was March 13th. And Melisha, do you remember this? We thought we were going to be gone for a week. I was like, let's work at home for a week. Let's just work at home for a week. So that didn't happen, but I remember grabbing things for a week. And for some reason, I thought it was really, really important to grab this swatch ring. This is from the Felt Pod. I don't know why I brought it with me and why it seems so important, but now I'm going to show it to you. And so it will have served some purpose. So this is my beautiful felt ring from the Felt Pod. I ordered this skirt fabric from there. This skirt fabric is from B&J. But you can see all the beautiful colors it comes in, this wool felt. And there is sort of a mid-range option too, which would be wool and rayon blended, which is kind of between the price of acrylic and 100% wool. That does have a little bit of a shine to it, and it's a little bit thinner. So really, I mean, I kind of feel like there's no, I don't know. It depends on what you're making. I mean, if you're going to, like doing what I do, I tend to go for the more expensive fabrics because I know, or like the more quality fabrics, because I know that it's going to be photographed. I know that all of you are going to look at that as the one example of this garment that I've designed. So I tend to go higher quality if I can. But that's not to say that you have to get that. But that's just to tell you like why I tend to spend more money on the sample fabrics. Though I do have some, like the Rita blouse this month was in $6 a yard lace from Joanne. So I like to mix it up too. But I'm just saying with felt, there is a very noticeable difference between the lower acrylic and wool felt. But I've seen people make acrylic felt skirts that look amazing. So like if you can't afford the wool felt, like don't let it stop you from making one of these. Yeah. So I have the little flower on my head. It's just a little, I know that's gonna drive me crazy later. I can't take it. Okay. So let's see. Is the plaid version wool felt? No, that's not. That's a wool plaid suiting from B&J. It's very thin, so very different. You liked it. So yeah, there are all sorts of different fabrics that you can use for this skirt, but the one I'm talking about right now and the one we're going to show you on Friday is the felt version, because again, you don't have to finish the edges, you don't have to hem it, like very, very easy to sew. So yeah, and we also have another episode which is related coming to Patreon. So keep that in mind if you're in. So the upper tiers are currently closed, so you can join the $7 tier only right now, really. Well, there's $3 too, but to get the downloadable elements, you need to be in $7. And we're going to be doing a really fun thing, and it's going to release on Friday, that shows you how to take this skirt even further. So let's see. Any questions? Oh, you guys had questions about other types of fabrics. So canvas, you could just use like a garment canvas, anything that's like a bottom weight fabric, like twill, canvas. I see I'm going to miss, I don't have it in front of me, so I'm going to miss a lot of things. Wool suiting, tweed, cotton tweeds would be great for summer. There's a lot of different things. So there's a list of all the recommended fabrics on the Charm Patterns site. Okay, were there any questions that I've missed here that I need to answer? Denim, thank you, Melisha. Melisha made a beautiful denim version. So yeah, denim is great. Let's see. Any more questions? Felt appeals to my hatred of hemming. Yummy swatch ring. Pockets make my hips look enormous. Well, the thing about the proportions on this skirt is it's meant to, like, yeah, my hips look enormous right now, right? But it's that very 50s silhouette where you have a smaller waist and it's a little bit cinched, and then you actually build up the hip dimensions by, like, you add width to your hips, which I think that is a very sort of vintage silhouette, to add that width here so that proportionally you look smaller here, and then something like a peasant blouse will sort of give you a wider silhouette up here, so you really get the hourglass thing going just through the silhouette choices, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this is adding like 6 inches to my hips right here, but it's all part of the plan. It's all part of my master plan. Okay, so let's see. Did I miss any questions? No one knows where your hips end and the floof begins. Exactly. Yeah. The figure 8 that adds glam. Yeah, exactly. The pockets give it a more hourglass shape. So corduroy, Melisha said. Melisha needs purple denim. In the $7 tier, do we have access to pre-order the patterns? Anyone can pre-order the patterns right now. So the pre-order is open. So any questions about this project? I'm really excited for you guys to see the video on Friday. It's an hour long, I think. And like I said, I think it's the best. I mean, I don't want to talk it up too much, but I mean, Melisha, do you agree? I think it's the the best video I've ever made. Is that only on Patreon? The pre-order is on the Charm Pattern site. Okay, is that what we're talking about? The pre-order is open to everyone. It's on the Charm Pattern site. The video that's coming out, there are 2 videos coming out on Friday. One is for YouTube. That's for everyone. It's free. And the one that's coming out on Patreon is, you can watch the video at all Patreon levels, so $3 and up. To get the downloadable elements that come with the video, you need to be at the $7 tier or up. Okay. So yeah, pre-order is available to anyone. Anyone can buy it, come to the Charm site and buy our patterns, and the pre-order is now available to everyone. All right, let's see. What time will it be airing? So I was thinking on Friday, instead of doing a live, we could do the YouTube premiere at 5 o'clock at our usual live time. What do you guys think? Oh, Colin just asked, can you mention some details about the pencil skirt view of the pattern? So actually what I would love to do, guys, is to take you through both of the new patterns in a sort of screen sharing situation. We could do that on Crowdcast. That's a great platform. Maybe we should do that tomorrow. And instead of coming here for a live, we go to Crowdcast. Or we could come here first. I give you guys the link, and then we go over to Crowdcast. That's probably the best thing to do so that we all kind of know where we're going. And then I can share my screen with you. We can look at all of the line drawing options together. I can tell you a little bit more about all of the views. Marin's got to go take a work call. Yeah, so what do you guys think? So that would be tomorrow, Wednesday. It's called Crowdcast. And I can give you a link tomorrow. We've done some testing with it, and it worked really well to share things. Would we be able to watch the Crowdcast later? I don't think so. I think you would have to join at the time, but I can double check on that. Can border denim be used on the skirt? What do you mean by border denim? Selvage denim? Border print wouldn't work because it's a circle. So it would be really hard to place the border print on this. If you mean selvage denim, then that's just sort of like heavier type of denim, and you could use that. So I'm talking about Crowdcast tomorrow, and Friday would be the YouTube premiere. Border denim is in one that has a border print. So yeah, border print isn't a great choice for this because you can see the shape of the gores are it's that much of a circle at the bottom. So I mean, it's just kind of like, where would you place the border, you know, because a border is straight generally. So I mean, you could do the sort of upside down placement, but I feel like an upside down border print placement isn't great with gores and the pockets and everything. I feel like if you want to do a border print, I would do, I think, a gathered skirt, or like the yoke skirt from Night and Day would be a better choice. I don't think this is like a great fit for a border print. All right. Any more questions, everyone? Questiones? Yeah, I mean, you could probably get really creative with a border print and like turn it upside down. You could do some weird matching with it, but if you're looking for a pattern that is well suited to a border print, I would not say that this is it. All right, so any more questions? Do the instructions have a layout and yardage requirement for the wider felt? They don't, because that's not one of the like main variations. That's an additional video that we put out. So I do talk about it in the video. And as I mentioned earlier, I took 2.5 yards with this size 6 skirt with pockets. So I think if you wanted to be safe, you could get 3 yards of felt. And the great thing about felt too is that it doesn't have a grain line, so you don't have to worry really about a layout. You just put the pieces wherever they fit, and you can put them in any orientation. Will it be difficult to cut in corduroy because of the shape of the pattern pieces, as mine has quite wide channels/stripes? So the corduroy wales, I think, is what you're talking about, the sort of like ribs. So you would need to do a nap layout with corduroy, which is a different type of layout. You could have the wales going down vertically on each gore would be one fun thing to do, but you kind of want to play around with it for your corduroy. That's one of those things that's a little bit of an exception to the rule when it comes to fabric. You know, a lot of cutting layouts say this cutting layout not meant for napped or directional fabric. So corduroy kind of falls into that category. So you kind of have to look at your specific fabric and see what would work best with it. Okay. How is rayon viscose felt for this skirt? I haven't used anything. I haven't used 100% rayon felt. I have used the wool and wool and rayon blended felt, and that would be a good choice. It's a little, like I was saying earlier, it's a little thinner than wool felt, and it has a little bit more of a sheen to it. All right, everyone. So that's what's going on this week. We have lots of fun premieres and launches and all of that. And yeah, so make sure that you're ready to go on Patreon. And I'm super excited to show you this YouTube video on Friday. Yeah, a lot going on. I've got to preen her. That's better. Exciting times. Exciting times. There's so much. There's so much happening. Fixing my light. These felt skirts are unlined, but there are directions in the pattern for lining this skirt too. Do we know when the PDF patterns are releasing? So we've been a little bit vague because the PDFs will be releasing the day that we start shipping the printed pattern. And we expect to have those printed patterns by the end of the month. So just kind of bear with us. Everything is a little weird right now, as I'm sure you've noticed. So we're just kind of hoping to have those printed patterns, and then we will let you know when we receive them, when to expect the PDF. Does the wool scratch? I don't find it scratchy at all, but also wearing a petticoat with it gives you another layer barrier between your skin and the felt. Yeah. Oh, Jen, I haven't made any. I gave a knitting project update yesterday, which is that I finished my swatch. I washed my swatch. It didn't make any difference in the bloom. It did not bloom. And then I ordered more yarn. So that's pretty much all that's happened. Here's my yarn. So I was thinking, Jen, because I am not very smart when it comes to knitting, I was thinking maybe I should go with a simpler pattern, the Jailbird. You've made that, right? I feel like I was looking at it on Ravelry and I saw your picture. Anyway, I was thinking maybe I would do that in this blush and ivory because I really like this sort of subtle effect of those colors together. So I don't know. It's still up in the air. I've been really busy playing Animal Crossing. You knit professionally. I knit very unprofessionally. All right, do we have any other topics to discuss, guys? Felt ring. Oh, you haven't? Aubergine and chartreuse. That sounds amazing. I've been working on the same shawl for 3 years. Could I use a lining, or is it the same as a petticoat? A lining and a petticoat are two totally different things. A lining is just a second layer of fabric that usually has some slip to it that keeps the fabric. It's like it's a barrier between your legs and the fabric. It keeps the fabric from clinging to your legs or your pantyhose or whatever. So that's a lining. And then a petticoat is a separate garment that you wear to give more structure to your skirt. So they have different purposes, but they also have some overlap because I tend to, like, especially in summer, I just wear a petticoat. I don't add a lining because I don't feel like you need both. All right. Yeah, I read the Stitch and Bitch book too when it first came out, and that's kind of how I learned way back. All right, everyone. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do next is make a swatch this and see how that goes. All right, do we have any other topics to discuss today? Have I missed anything? What are you guys all working on? I am working on, let's see, what did I do today? Typing. There were things to type, emails to send. And then I was working on, well, I was serging the raw edges of the thing I was showing you yesterday. So getting that all prepped to sew. Yeah. Playing with brocade, gaining confidence. That's great. Made a Liz muslin. That's exciting, Marin. Another Liz dress happening. Oh, lots of Liz's. L'Amour dress. Erica, I'm making tortillas and hiding from my child. Apron, masks. Oh, a long sleeve Rita out of white gauze. That's exciting. Another L'Amour dress, lots of masks. Did I miss the Drag Race portion? There really aren't any updates for Drag Race today. We had a long discussion yesterday, and I feel like we kind of covered all the topics, don't you guys? Until there's another episode. Colin, on Thursday, I'm going to be adjusting the Liz to drag queen sizing. I can't wait to see how that goes. If you have a hood dryer, you can sit under it and not hear your kids. Oh, guys, I do not envy you people home with kids right now. I don't know how you're doing it. You're going to make a swirl dress soon. Another idea I had for a live coming up was that I just set up a second set of shelves in my dining room to store all the fabric that I brought home from the studio. And it's just like temporary, well, for as long as this goes on, plastic shelving. So I thought we could like do a live over there one day and go through all of that fabric together so you could see like just a sort of mini portion of my stash. All have a Patreon question. When I open the email with the starburst pattern files, it is no longer there. Are the files deleted now? So they are deleted from Patreon. So if you're opening that email that was sent to you from Patreon, you're not going to be able to access it because the starburst was just for February subscribers. So that is why I sent out an email on March 2nd with all the files so that you would have them. And it would have come from my real name, which is Gretchen Hirsch. Okay, so look that up in your email. You should have received it on March 2nd. If you didn't receive it, check your spam. And if you still didn't receive it, then you can email us at support@charmpatterns.com and we will get you your files. Yes to Fabric Stash. Fabric Stash is fun. Fabric Live. Okay. Yeah, so the Starburst was just it was a free bonus for people who signed up in our first month. It was like a limited time bonus. So it was only available during February. So that's why we took it off the site, and that you should be able to access it in your emails. But if you can't, just send us an email. And we'll be doing more of those limited time bonus offers in the future, by the way. Okay. All right, everyone. Anything else? Anything else? Anything Animal Crossing related? I'm going to go pick up my Switch Lite this evening. I was able to just order one for pickup, and I'm hoping it's a relatively contactless or low contact pickup situation, to go to my local Target and get my Switch. Though honestly, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with my campsite on Pocket Camp. So I feel like I don't know, I might just have my Switch and set that up later because it's just too much. It's too much. Can we do a live about my Lena Hoshek dresses? I'd love to see the details. Sure, we could do that someday. Okay. Anything else? Flick just showed up on my island today, and I'm so happy. It's the little things. It's the little Animal Crossing things. My name on Animal Crossing, well, I'm only on Pocket Camp right now, and my name is my dog's name, which is Hattie Carnegie. So I could, I gave the number to my, to friend me in yesterday's live, but I can also put it in my stories or something tonight so that we can all be friends. You had no idea I was doing lives every day, almost every day. Yeah, so I started doing these actually on like, I think it was the first day after we closed the studio, because we were really trying to encourage people to stay home and sew. And so I just started doing a daily live talking about, I started it on Instagram about what I was sewing, and just kind of connecting with everyone. And it's just kind of like built up into this our little community, which I love. So let's see, I could do a vintage patterns I'm inspired by as a theme. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, because I do have a little stack of patterns I would love to show you guys, but I don't know. Actually, hang out here for a second. Let's see if it works with the webcam. I just want to see if I can show you. Can you guys see that? I might need another light back there, but if I wanted to share this with you, would I need a second camera? Would I need to be on Crowdcast? Like, would I need to have a live? Would I need to have a screen share, or is this like, is that sufficient? I feel like it's a little dark. So yeah, let me know what you think. Dress archive. Better lighting would help, yeah. Are my patterns inappropriate for plus size? No, not at all. So they actually go up to a size 20, which is a US size 20. And just so you know, that size 20 is actually equivalent to a size 24 at plus size stores like Lane Bryant. And we have separate cup sizes. We go up to an H cup. So that's not necessarily your bra size. I would say if you're wondering if the patterns are going to fit you, go to the Charm Patterns site, and all of the size charts are there on the product pages. And you're going to want to have, well, let's see, there are four measurements that are really important. Your upper bust, so that's up here, your full bust, your waist, and your hips. And compare those, measure yourself. Don't just go by what you wear at, at a Macy's brand or something like that. You need to measure yourself and compare it to the size chart. So yeah, it's definitely plus size friendly. I need light in front of me. Yes, just a lamp. Yeah, I'd have to set up another light over there. All right, everyone. It is in plastic, and I don't really want to take it out. It's in sort of like a protective plastic. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like I need another camera to be able to do that effectively. All right. Do I use a specific sizing standard for grading, or is it something you've developed? A little bit of both. I would say that our core sizes, our original core sizes, like 2 through 16, without the cup sizes, because like if you go to, again, like just using Macy's as an example, if you go to the Mrs. department at Macy's, you're not going to be able to choose a dress in an H cup, right? This is specific to sewing. So most of those dresses fit like what, a C cup, B or C cup. So I would say that our waist measurements, starting at the size 2 and then kind of going up to like the 14, are pretty standard. Like the waist measurement is pretty standard with ready to wear sizing. My hip measurements have always been about a size or an inch bigger than what you would expect in a store, because I just feel like too many patterns are kind of straight up and down and don't account for women having a hip size bigger than their waist, which I from my experience, fitting most women, well, not most, but a lot of women do. So that's a really helpful thing to have. So that's why my hip is like slightly bigger. And then developing the cup sizing on top of that was like, it kind of became its own thing that I developed working with the grader and through doing student fittings over the past 11 years, kind of figured out what I think works. I do think that our increments are different from, like I said, like Lane Bryant, our size 20 is equivalent to a Lane Bryant size 24. They tend to have, and now I'm going to try to do math, they tend to have less room between the grades. So that's why, I don't know. I'm not going to make sense now. My math brain is kicking in. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Yeah, so I see some people are saying, okay, like Sarah's saying, I wear a 36H cut bra and am a 14D in Charm. So yeah, that's the other really important thing, is that the cup sizes are not your bra cup size. And I feel like that's a really hard thing for people to kind of wrap their minds around. And I know a lot of people will say, well, like I wear like a J cup or whatever it is. So can I use your patterns? And I'm like, well, if you're a J cup, you definitely need to know, like, I'll just brag for a minute. Like our cup size range it doesn't exist in other patterns. Like you might go up to like a D, but we go A through H in our cup sizes. So If you're just waiting for a J-cup sewing pattern to come along before you start sewing, like don't, because they just are not out there. So that's the first thing I'll say. The second thing I'll say is what I started to say, is that bra cup sizing and sewing pattern cup sizing, it's a totally different thing. So sewing pattern sizing, when it comes to cup sizing, is about the difference between your upper bust, which is measured up here, and your full bust. Okay, so that's totally different from how you would fit a bra, which is the difference between down here and your full bust, like your rib cage. So it's totally different. Yeah, and Kendra, thank you for mentioning that. I did, there's a YouTube video called Choosing Your Charm Pattern Size, and it relates to the Jane set, and it's actually when we only had B through double D cup sizes, so things have changed a little bit, but it does tell you how to measure yourself and how to find your sewing pattern cup size. And this is all to say that, like Sarah just said, you may be an H cup bra, but fit into a D in charm patterns. So you may be a J cup bra and fit into a G cup in charm patterns. So this, I mean, above all, I think one of the biggest mistakes that especially newcomers make is they say, well, I wear a size 16 and I'm a C cup bra, so I'm just going to go pick that size in charm patterns. Like, no, it doesn't work like that, because every store that you're going to shop at is different. Every bra companies are different. Someone just said from country to country, they're different. So it's all about measuring yourself. Okay. So you need to get those measurements, and don't even worry about what you've made in a butterick pattern, what you've made in one of my books. Just regularly, you should be measuring yourself and comparing yourself to charm patterns. Yeah, so for like someone was just saying, my Liz dress is a B cup, but my bra is an F. It can be totally different, and some people it's going to be right on the money from bra cup sizing to dress sizing. Other people isn't, because it's all about your proportions from your upper bust to your full bust. Just call me Erin. Erin said that. Okay. So yeah, I would say, yeah, just always check the charts. Yeah, and a lot of people are, the other biggest mistake, since we've gotten into talking about sizing, the other biggest mistake that I see people make is that they choose their pattern size by their waist size, which I think is one of the worst things you can do, because a lot of people are bigger in the waist than they are in the bust or in the hip. So they think, well, that's my biggest measurement, so I'm going to, just to make sure that it fit. I understand the logic. Like, to make sure that it fits, I'm going to choose the size that corresponds to my biggest measurement, and then I know it's going to fit, but the rest of it is not going to fit. So for me, the most important measurement is that upper bust measurement, and then your full bust. So I choose a size that for my students to make with those two measurements. So, because that tells me your dress size and your cup size in charm patterns. And then everything else we can adapt. So if your waist is 5 inches bigger than the waist measurement on the chart, then we add to the waist and we make it fit you. So I'm really big into that method, and I write that method in all of my instruction booklets. I have really detailed fitting instruction chapters that tell you how to choose your size, how to choose your cup size, all of that, how to make fit adjustments. So if you need to add 5 inches to the waist, how do you do it? Here's how you do it. Like, I've really tried to think about all of this and tell you how to do it in the pattern. Okay, so make sure you're reading those fitting chapters, make sure you're looking at the size charts. All right. So I could do a tutorial, but really, guys, it's in every booklet. I put it in every booklet. That it is there when you are making one of my patterns. In the fitting chapter, I show you how to do it. All right, everyone. I'm just reading your comments. All right. Apparently it's 1 hour. That's my max right now. 1 hour, I can be presentable. Yeah, so I do try to explain all that stuff, but yeah, I know there's a need for more videos. It's just, you know. So yeah, I would say, I would agree with you, Colin, that you should wear the bra that you plan on wearing with the garment. And if you like to wear shapewear, then you should be wearing that when you measure yourself, because it can make a big videos about foundation garments. And I feel like that's another thing that I talk about like a lot too. And that's in every booklet too now. We've started adding recommended foundation garments for the pattern to the fitting chapter. So like for the Hepburn top, I talk about what bras you could wear with it. I also wrote a super comprehensive 2-page spread on everything about my favorite foundation garments in my book, Gertie Sews Jiffy Dresses. So you can find that there. And I have been planning on making a video on this topic too, because it comes up every day pretty much. All right. So, and also like I mean, when I'm allowed to teach in person again, that's like the basis of most of my classes too. So is helping people choose their size, helping them adjust their patterns. So yeah, I mean, I would say that there's only so much content that I can put out at any given time. And if you need that information, okay. All right, everyone. So yeah. I think that's it for today. Yeah, I really love, I mean, fitting is like a rewarding thing to be able to do. And I would say if you can take a fitting class, it is really, really helpful. And yeah, if we're ever able to leave our houses again. No plans to do bridal gowns, but you can really make a wedding gown for many of my books. I did one in my book, Gertie's Ultimate Dress Book, and most of my dress patterns, I would say, are applicable to 50s bridal wear, like the L'Amour dress, the Liz dress, all of that you could make in white and tea length, and it would be really beautiful. You're leaving your house by September. Yeah, it's going to happen, Maren. All right. So I think that's it, everyone. Always good to see you guys. And thank you for coming to my live session today. Buffering. All right. So I'm going to get out of here then. So I will see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Let's meet here and potentially do the crowdcast thing, because I would like to do that at some point. All right. Thank you, everyone. It was great to see you. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Mwah. Have a great night, morning, day, whatever it may be. Thank you, Maren. You're the best. Thank you for moderating. Melisha, thank you for moderating. You're the best too. You guys are all the best. Thank you for joining me and chatting with me. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.